Hi everyone. In this introductory lecture, we will see what is a fermentation and introduction to basic design of a fermenter. A microbial fermentation process is a process where microorganisms are grown commercially on a large scale for production of commercially important and valuable products. Microorganisms are used, or I can say exploited, for the commercial production of various products ranging from beer to a preservative, antibiotics, medicines. And when we talk about microorganisms, bacteria are grown for microbial fermentation process. Vinegar, which is a preservative, is produced by Acetobacter, which is a bacteria. Vitamin B12, which is used as a vitamin supplement, it is produced by a microbial fermentation process using a bacteria. Glutamic acid and amino acid, it is produced using Corynebacterium glutamicum, which is also a bacterium. Fungi are grown on a large scale for production of important enzymes such as amylases, which are used from dairy to textile industry. Other enzymes are produced. Then penicillin, which is an antibiotic, is produced using penicillium, a fungus. Citric acid, which is another preservative, is also produced commercially from a fungus. Yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, is used for production of wine, beer, that is alcoholic beverages, and also for baker's yeast. Not just microorganisms, fermenter is also used to grow animal cells on a large scale so that vaccines can be produced. So let's see the basic design of a fermenter. Basically, fermenter is a device which provides a controlled environment for the growth of microorganisms or animal cells for the commercial production of products. This is the basic design of a fermenter. And how we grow microorganisms in a lab or at a very small scale in a flask. Basically, this is microorganisms are grown on a large scale, similar to the way they are grown in a flask, but many things change. This is a liquid level at the top. Agitator is required, which is a device for mixing the contents in a fermenter. And there are different types of agitators which are motor driven, disc turbine, vane disc, marine propeller, variable pitch open turbine. In this picture, this is a disc turbine agitator, and you can see it's driven by a motor. Microorganisms have to be supplied with oxygen. And how do you introduce oxygen? The device which is used for introduction of air into the fermenter is a sparger. Various types of spargers are available, like porous sparger, orifice sparger, nozzle sparger. And sterile air is introduced via the sparger, and this air is sterilized via filters. Filter sterilized. Apart from the agitator and the sparger, there is a stirrer seal, which is at the top, from where the fermenter agitator or the impeller penetrates the top plate of the fermenter. This is the stirrer seal. Why this seal is required? Because when the impeller or the agitator will penetrate from the top plate of the fermenter, an opening is created which has to be sealed so that the fermenter is not contaminated. And a pure inoculum or the process organism only grows during the fermentation period, and not just for aseptic conditions are to prevent contamination. Another concept is containment. In contamination, you do not want any outside microorganism to enter the fermenter and contaminate your fermentation, whereas containment is prevention of release of the microorganisms into the environment, as some of these microorganisms may be pathogenic, especially which are used for vaccine production. And Also, they make, even if it's a non-pathogen, let's say a non-pathogenic yeast or bacteria, it may cause an allergic reaction if it escapes through the environment. So this seal, stirrer seal, ensures that aseptic operation is maintained along with the containment. And as we go to the higher levels of containment where pathogens are grown for vaccines, there are more stringent protocols, and that ensures that not even a single cell is released. There are baffles also, which is not shown in this diagram, but baffles are metal strips attached to the inner wall of the fermenter, and there's some spaces left between the inner wall and this metal strips. They also improve the aeration efficiency, and they prevent vortex and create turbulence in the fermenter. There's a viewing port at the top. Industrial fermenters are made up of stainless steel, but there's a viewing port at the top. There's a pH controller. This entire course is on monitoring and control. So in every lecture, we will see how these parameters are monitored and controlled. But pH controller for the monitoring and control of pH is shown here. There's a cooling jacket which is attached to the outside of this fermenter, where from cooling water enters and cooling water is released from here. This cooling water or chilled water doesn't enter the fermenter. It's circulated from outside. This is for temperature control if the temperature goes up. And the valves fitted in the pipeline. How we inoculate a flask in the lab between the burners using a wire loop. You cannot inoculate a fermenter with a wire loop, nor you can transfer the inoculum by opening the fermenter from the top. So inoculum, fermentation medium, and all the other liquids like antifoams, acid alkali for control of pH, which are added to the fermenter, are entered or are allowed via pipelines, and those pipelines associated with the fermenter also have to be sterilized, and those pipelines have valves fitted for the control of flow of those liquids and gases. This is the exhaust gas port at the top, from where the gases from the fermenter will leave, which will have a lot of carbon dioxide. This is also important component of a fermenter, and the exhaust gas is filter sterilized before it is released into the environment. There are mostly three types of fermenters. A laboratory fermenter, which is not shown in this presentation, but it's most of the times made up of glass with stainless steel top or a stainless steel top and bottom. Some laboratory fermenters can be autoclaved. Some are sterilized at its place. They're small fermenters, still very expensive. Then you have pilot scale fermenter. A pilot scale fermenter is unlike a laboratory fermenter. It's made up of stainless steel. A pilot scale fermenter is bigger than the laboratory fermenter, but smaller than the actual industrial fermenter. And the pilot scale fermenter resembles the industrial fermenter in every aspect except the size. The actual industrial fermenter may be huge or very big, and this is just a drawing of a fermenter. So when you isolate a novel microorganism and you're standardizing the process, first you will optimize the process in a flask. Then from the flask, you will move on to a laboratory fermenter to optimize more parameters. And from there, you will optimize or grow the organism in a pilot scale fermenter. And then once the entire process is completely optimized, it's grown in the actual industrial fermenter. And this process is called as scale-up. So this introductory lecture, we have covered what is a microbial fermentation and what is a fermenter, its design, its parts, and significance of each of these parts. In the subsequent lectures, we will see how the parameters are monitored and controlled during a fermentation process.